Makeovers. This is Makeovers Jr., neighborhood hero. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep you long because I know you're waiting to get into this video. All right? So, but the one thing I did want to say was we did this parking lot, and the parking lot was in pretty bad shape. There was weeds growing up everywhere. The trees were coming over the sidewalks, and it was just in complete disarray, and we couldn't have that for when the first day of school started back. Okay, so I cleaned up everything just to make sure everything was presentable for when the first day of school starts. Okay, I talked to the custodial staff that was, that takes care of the grounds, and the one thing they did say was they just don't have the resources and the time to do everything that needs to be done. Okay, and the one thing I do want to say is what's important for every school is investment in training. Okay, principals and teachers can get the training. The custodial staff needs training too as well. Reason being, they're the ones that's taking care of the school on a day-to-day basis. They're there from 6 in the morning to wee hours of the night. Okay, and time management is everything. Time efficiency is everything. If we don't invest in the people that controls the environment in which we come in contact with, we can't be mad at the outcomes that we receive. Okay, if we know it's dysfunction and we accept the dysfunction, does that make us dysfunctional? I'ma always say yes. I'ma always say yes on that one. Okay, but I'm a firm believer in if we give our custodial staff and grounds crew the training that they need, it'll boost the morale, it'll make things better for people that come in contact with the environment which the school brings. Okay, but if they're pulling up to this parking lot like you see in the intro and like you're about to see in this video, morales and everything is just going to be out the window. Okay, they're going to come into the school mad, they're going to come, it's just not going to be good for anyone. Okay, so with that being said, I'm a firm believer in training, and if you know of a school or if your school can use a training service, please go to www.traintobeautify.com. Again, www.train2beautify.com, and I can come in and train your custodial service. Okay, well, with that being said, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to this video because you like he didn't talk long enough. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, thank you. You won't be disappointed, and hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. All feedback is good feedback, in my opinion. Help out the channel a little bit, be very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be abreast of what Extreme School Makeovers got for you. You know what? I didn't say all that, but I didn't say subscribe to the channel. Well, subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. Okay, for my existing subscribers, thank you for the support. We're going to get there. Okay, we're going to make a difference. Okay, it don't seem like that now, but we're heading in the right direction. Okay, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being patient, and we got a new episode of Extreme School Makeovers. This parking lot wore me out, but we got it done. Okay, the gully was out of whack, the curb lines, everything. It was just in bad shape, but you know what? We got it done, and it's good for the first day of school. Okay, so with that being said, stop waiting for the change and be the change. Love you. If it's dysfunction and we accept the dysfunction, does that make us dysfunctional? I'm going to say yes. Invest in your custodial staff. Love you. Our land, our culture, our struggle. Look at this up. All right. I'm just checking on you. You all right? Okay. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Okay. I know it's a lot. That's why I took a break to come talk to you. All right. I just came to take a break to come talk to you for a second just to see how you're doing. Just to see if you need to refill your cup a little bit or go and get your snack or maybe you had to use the restroom or something. Okay. So press pause real quick. Go do what you got to do. And then come on back, push play, and watch the rest of this video. Okay? Ain't nothing like an extreme school makeovers on a Sunday. So, hit pause, go do what you gotta do, come on back, and I'll see you in a minute. Love you. Hey, do me a favor. Close your eyes and imagine this. You are walking to a school where the grass is freshly manicured. The bushes are neatly trimmed. The flower beds are weed-free, freshly mulched, and full of color. The playground areas are clean and safe. The inside of the schools are well organized, vibrant, and welcoming with open arms. Feels good, doesn't it? It's well deserved. Now open your eyes. Here at Extreme School Makeovers, we're not just beautifying schools, we're building environments. We're providing classroom and hands-on training for custodial teams, grounds crews, and students who are willing to step up and learn. The truth is, many schools are struggling from the outside to the inside. And as we all know, when the environment suffers, so does the morale. But with the right resources, training, and investments and vision, our schools can become places of inspiration. The custodial teams and the grounds crews are the backbone of every school, but often can get overlooked. But when we strengthen them, we strengthen the schools. And when we strengthen the schools, we're strengthening the community. So click the link and let's invest in a future that looks great and feels amazing. Love you. That's it. That's all. Okay? So, I told you it was in pretty bad shape. All right, but we got it done, and for the first day of school, it's going to be immaculate. Everybody's going to have a warm feeling. Everybody's going to be have smiles on their faces when they come in that parking lot into that school. Okay, so with that being said, thank you, staying for towards the end. And I'm a firm believer in give your custodials the training that they need. Okay, there's no reason for people who have to come in contact with an unkept school. Okay, we can always blame the higher ups, but why? You know, it doesn't do anything to shift the blame. Okay, if we see that it needs done, let's do something as a community to come together and get it done. Okay, because make no mistake about it, they are running the day-to-days of that school. Okay, the teachers and the principals are teaching, but the custodials are running the schools from day to day. Okay, so let's get them the training that they need. Okay, principals and teachers can get their training. Let's get them their training too as well. Okay, and if you are interested in the training, go to www.train2beautify.com. All right, and until the next week, there will be a new episode of Extreme School Makeovers next week. Okay, so I'll see you all next Sunday. Oh, stay tuned for the before and afters. You will enjoy it because I enjoy doing it for you. And I'll see you all next week. Love you.